Hi, guys. Welcome to Vocabulary's lesson of this week. We're going to talk about the school. It's on your book, it's on page 102 from letter A all the way to number 14. And the few weeks back, we talked about the types of schools. Remember, we would have preschool, elementary, high school, university. Then we talked about the school subjects like math, English, history, government, geography. So this week we're going to talk about the school in itself. And to start off, I want to explain something. The lesson of the school is separated into two. The parts of a school, like the physical parts of a school, and also the type or the persons that work in that part of the school. So I'm going to do my best to try to describe which one goes where. So on your left side of your screen, you're going to find the physical parts. And on your right side, you're going to find the persons that work in that specific part of the school. First, we're going to talk about the main office. The main office is where everybody goes for information, or it's practically where you find the school secretary and the vice principal. As you can see there, that we have a secretary is doing multitask because they're normally in the main office and they would attend calls or slips or anything that has to do with your paperwork. And you also find the vice principal. And in the vice principal's function in this case is to help out or take a decision when the principal is not there. And as you can see in the picture, the main office is actually really big. You have photocopies, you do everything there in the main office. Then we have the principal's office. The principal's office is a more private space and it's only for the principal. He works there when he needs to have a meeting with parents or with you, or when he needs to call somebody or maybe directly with a student. We have the principal that works in the principal's office. Then we have the nurse's office. Over there in the United States, they have a specific room for the nurse. You can lay down if your head is hurting. They take your temperature. They can give you an aspirin if you're not feeling well. And the school nurse, as you can see in the picture, can actually cure you. And they are practically, has to be a certified nurse to be working in the nurse offices. So it's not anybody. It's actually a special person for that. Then we have the guidance office. Now, the guidance office is not, I repeat, is not a psychologist. That is a different person. A guidance office has a counselor. And listen to this. A counselor, as you can see in the picture, it can be a woman, it can be a man. What they do is they are normally in school when somebody is having problems academically. What do I mean? Maybe you're not understanding why you have a 60 in your total score. So you go to the counselor to ask them if they can see what is happening with your scores. And also a counselor can be used as a person that you can talk to if you have a problem at home, but it's not a psychologist. That is a different thing. It's just a person that can help you with your personal things or your academic things. Sometimes also the counselor can help you when you want to have a scholarship or if you want to go to a university. They can actually help you with that because they have a guidance office to guide you in a process that you're having. Okay? Then, of course, we have the classrooms. Now, there's a different thing in the United States. The classrooms are actually pretty cool because the students are the ones that rotate. If they're in high school, if you are in high school, then you will practically be the ones to rotate. And if you're in middle school, you'll also be the ones to rotate. The teachers do not move. They have a specific class for their topics. And of course, in the classroom, you find a teacher. can be any type of teacher. Now, this is kind of cool because we don't have this in Guatemala. And in Happy Kids Home, we try to have lockers, but it's not possible to have a specific locker for all of you. So it depends. But in the United States, we have something as the hallway. Hallway. The hallway is this part of the building where you walk to move from one class to another. And in the hallway, you find your lockers. Normally, it's the time that they give you to go to the locker to change from books. So if you forgot something, or if you want to get, I don't know, something that you left in your locker for food, it's up to you. So it's really cool. And this is used mostly in high school. It's not in elementary, in high school. And also the person that you would find in a hallway will be a security officer. This is weird because in Guatemala, we do not have security officers in the school. Thank God, because the security officers are normally in the schools due to kids who tend to be very violent. And in the United States, not the majority, but in some cases, the security officer has to be there because students are bringing things to school that are illegal. And you may know and hear of all these news that we hear, right? That students may bring things that are not supposed to be in school. So there's a security officer, and they maintain also the order in the school. So it's like a person that's always there. Then they have the science lab. The science lab is one of my favorite parts of the school because in this science lab, you can actually find all the equipment that you may need to do science experiments. Look, it looks like a real laboratory, like if you were about to create medicine or discover something really important. And there, of course, you have a science teacher. Look at the equipment. They use goggles, they use gloves, they use this protecting part of their whole body. So they have this equipment to protect them. And also in the science lab, guys, if you are playing with chemicals, there is a special shower. It's called an emergency shower that you pull handle and water comes pouring in. So you can take like an instant bath if you have a chemical spilled on you. So it's really cool. Then we have, of course, the gym. And in the gym, we have something that is called the locker room. Now, there is a difference between the lockers in the hallway, because they're in the place where you move from one place to another, and then the locker room in a gym, because in the locker room in a gym, as you can see in the pictures, the locker room is where you change. If you take a shower, is after you did some type of sport. And also, guys, look at the gym. The gym is a closed area. I want you to really pay attention to that, because the gym has to be a closed area. It cannot be outside in like a field or something. And the gym that you see there is really, really similar to the school that I used to go to. And it's really cool because they have all types of equipments. They have for basketball, for volleyball, for tennis. And of course, each gym of a school has a PE teacher. Okay? Remember, the PE teacher stands for physical education teacher. And here, well, they teach us all type of sports. And you can actually take a shower when you're done after you're sweating a whole bunch. You can take a shower there in school. Now, I want you to pay attention to this because some people may get confused. Now, outside the school, there's something that we call track. Track is used for students who like and practice running. It's a really famous sport, and they learn the whole art of this sport of running. Personally, it looks really, really cool. And some students may even get scholarships due to this track. And in the track, you're going to find the bleachers. The bleachers are stairs that are outside, and that you can sit on when you're watching somebody practicing track or when there's a competition. And then we have a field. The field is for the soccer team or the football team, and they practice outside. Their field is big. Remember that we talked about field, what was the difference between field and if we have a field. In school we don't have a field, but I say field when I tell you, okay guys, let's go to the field, remember? But it's just a reference because field is for an open space with green grass. Now, in the track and the field, you may find as the person who works there a coach. The coach is the person that works in the track and field. Why? Why not a PE teacher? Because a coach is the one that is in charge to train students for a specific competition or for a specific team. The PE teacher only teaches you how to play the sports, like the rules, like the theory part, if you want to see it like that. And then the coach is the one if you want to belong to the football team, to the track team, to the soccer team, then you have a coach and they have strict times where you're going to be training. Then you have the auditorium. The auditorium is the space that you may find for people who like to do theater, who like to practice the art of acting, or for music, they do their presentations, or when the principal wants to give an award to a person, then they have an auditorium. The auditorium that you see there is really, really similar to my school. It was really cool. And the chairs of the auditorium look like the ones that when you go to Cinépolis, or maybe when you go to El Teatro Municipal here in Shela, then the bleachers are like that. The seats are really nice. And of course, we all have a person who does our cleaning of the school, and we call that custodian or janitor, but we are going to use only the word custodian. I wrote janitor just to have a reference, but it's actually a custodian. Custodian is the person who cleans the school, right? I put him in the auditorium, but it cleans the complete school. Then we have the cafeteria. In the cafeteria, you are going to find two persons that work strictly in the cafeteria. The cafeteria is where students eat. And as you can see, we have the cafeteria worker, who is the person who gives the food to the students. The food is for free unless you have a lot of money and you can pay it, then you can pay it. Or also if you want to buy some extra, you can take your money and you can pay. But you get actual food. And then we have the lunchroom monitor. The lunchroom monitor is the person who is in the lunchroom walking around or going in each table. It's normally a teacher. And what he or she does is to supervise that you guys are eating, or that you are eating all of your food, that you're not wasting it. And it's like the person who keeps the order, so there is not like a disaster in the lunchroom. And then we have the library. The library is a special place where you find all types of books. And of course, in the library, which is the place, you find a librarian. The librarian is the person who works in the library. And she or he is the one that gives you the books, right? And in this case, in school, our librarian will be who? It will be Teacher Diego Sandoval, because he is our librarian. Now, guys, with this, we are done with the lesson. This is was the last vocabulary word. Now, I want you to go to our activity. Please follow the instructions, and we are going to do all of the activities in our notebooks, okay? Take care, my kids.